Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel SS Analysis. First of all, I would like to tell you that if you are watching this video first time, subscribe my channel to see my more upcoming videos on analysis of different commodities and equity indices. And second important thing is to watch this video till its end to understand this fully to take your decision. Your one like will motivate me to be regular in working more for you. So let us start the day to analyze the movements of natural gas futures in different time frames. So friends, here you can see a monthly chart of natural gas futures. So here I would analyze the movements of natural gas futures, how the natural gas futures behaved at different stages. As here you can see that we have seen a rally in September 2004 when the natural gas futures tested a high at the levels of 9.203. So friends, this was the level which was decided a long time back. So here you can see that how the natural gas futures found breakout well above this immediate resistance and tested a peak at the levels of 15.797 in December 2005. But from here, a sharp sell-off was seen during that month. So friends, here I would like to tell you that one candle represents the movements of 1 month. So here you can see that how the natural gas futures found a sharp sell-off here and a steep fall was there that continued to drag down during the month of December 2005, and this fall continued during the next 3 months. And finally, the natural gas futures tested a low once again at the same levels at the level of the 4 in September 2006, and finally the natural gas futures found a sharp reversal from the levels of the 4.063, and from here you can see that how the natural gas futures behaved up to August 2007. They traded in a narrow range where the downside was at the levels of the 5.373 and the upper range was only up to the levels of the 8.660. So this was a tight range trading during that period. But once again, the natural gas futures started an uptrend in February 2008 and tested a peak at the levels of 13.707 in July 2008. But from here, the natural gas futures witnessed a steep fall that continued to drag down the natural gas futures up to the levels of 2.444, what it tested in September 2009. Since then, the natural gas futures were trading in a narrow range for next many years up to the year 2020. We've seen a tight range trading in natural gas futures from the levels of 1.777 on the low side, and the upside was capped at the levels of 5.207. So friends, here you can see that how the natural gas futures continue to trade amid this tight trading range up to September 2021, and here you can see that how the natural gas futures tried to find a breakout in September 2021 well above this level and tested a high at the levels of 6.445 in November 2021, but once again a sharp sell-off was there during the next 3 months when the natural gas futures tested a low at the levels of 3.587 in December 2021. So friends, this was the level what could be tested now once again what we tested on December 30th 2021, and here you can see that how the natural gas futures found a breakout move in January 2022 and tested a high at the levels of 7.397. So this move was an attempt by the natural gas bulls to define some support well above the 200 days moving average in a monthly time frame. So here you can see that finally the natural gas futures found bounce back once again during the month of March 2022, well from the 200 days moving average which was at the levels of 4.444, and from here a rally started in March 2022, and finally the natural gas futures found stiff resistance once again at this level at the levels of 9.203. So this was the level which provided strong resistance to natural gas futures when the natural gas futures constantly tried to sustain above this and finally tested a peak at the lows of $10.005 in August 2022. But here you can see that how we have seen a sharp downward move to continue since September 2022, and this steep slide is still continue, and the natural futures are currently trading at the lows of $4.959 after testing a low at the lows of 4.903 on last Friday. So friends, here I find that still this monthly move is not over. So here I find that if the natural futures start the upcoming week with a gap down opening well below the lows of 4.826, we'll see this downward trend to continue during this month, where the natural futures could find some support at the 200 days moving average in a monthly time frame, from where we could expect some bounce back. So here you can see that currently the 200 days moving average is at the lows of 4.232, but I find that if the natural futures are not able to defend this major support, we'll see this downward trend to continue during the upcoming week, where the natural futures could retest the levels of 3.540. So friends, here I find that this will be the level that could decide the further direction move for natural futures, because here once again the natural futures could find some buying support from this level, as here you can see that how the natural futures found a strong buying support well below the 200 days moving average, and from here this rally started in January 2022. So here I find that this level seems to be extremely important. So friends, here I find that if the natural futures test this level during the upcoming weeks, we could find some bounce back from here. But here I find that a big down well below the levels of 3.516 will continue this fall during the upcoming months, when the natural futures could test multi-year lows at the levels of 1.396, what we had tested in May 2022. So friends, here I find that the immediate support is at the 200 days moving average, which is currently at the levels of 2.232, and the next support is at the upper end of Ichimoku cloud, which is at the levels of 3.135, and finally major support will be at the levels of 2.635, for where a strong buying support can be seen in natural futures, because here I find that a downward move below this level could trap the natural bears, as here I find that big hedge funds will come forward to go long in natural futures. So friends, now let's check this move in a weekly time frame. So here in a weekly time frame, here you can see that how the natural futures formed an exhaustive candle in August 2022 after testing a high at the 10.005. This exhaustion got confirmation with the formation of this bearish candle during the next week of August, and finally the natural futures struck resistance at the levels of 9.657. Here you can see that how the natural futures continued to slide well up to the levels of 6.4, where the natural futures tried to find some support but could not, and finally found a breakdown well below the levels of 6.247 during the last week. And here you can see that how the natural futures have finally found a steep fall that has broken the low end of Ichimoku cloud and currently closed the week at the levels of 4.959. So friends, here I find that this looks evident enough for this fall to continue, where the natural futures could retest this support at 200 days moving average in a weekly time frame if the natural futures are not able to hold the immediate support at the levels of 4.444. During the upcoming week, we'll see this fall to continue up to the 200 days moving average, which is currently at the levels of 3.593. But here I find that if the natural futures are not able to hold this major support, we'll see this fall to continue up to the levels of 3.080, from where a sharp bouncing move can be seen during the upcoming weeks. Technically, you can see that how the 9 days moving average has turned downward and crossed below the 26 days moving average. This confirms the formation of a bearish crossover that could keep this trend downward during the upcoming weeks. So friends, now let's check this move in a daily time frame. So friends, here you can see that how the natural futures try to defend this support at the lowest of 6.454 since September 28 and continue to trade in a narrow range up to the lowest of 7 and finally found a big down well below the 200 days moving average in a daily time frame. So friends, here in a daily time frame, here you can see that how the natural futures found some buying support on September 28 well below the 200 days moving average, and a sharp bounce back was seen here whenever the natural futures found a move well below the 200 days moving average. We experienced a bouncing move here when the natural futures were trading during this month in a tight range up to the levels of 7.139, and finally the natural futures found a big down on October 10 well below the 200 days moving average and continued to sustain below the 200 days moving average up to October 14th. On last to last Friday, the natural futures closed the week at the 6.464, and the natural futures started the last week well with a gap down opening well below this level and continued to slide during the whole week and finally tested a low at the 4.903 before closing the day at the 4.959. So friends, here I find that if the natural futures start the upcoming week with a gap down opening well below the level of the 4.826, will see this downward trend to continue where the natural futures could retest the levels of the 3.488 during the upcoming week. So friends, here I find that the natural futures could retest the lows of December 30th, 2021 during the upcoming week, and here I find that a bouncing move could be seen from these lows. If the natural futures hit this level, we'll see a sharp rally. First, now let's check the movements of crude oil futures in different time frames. And from here, the crude oil futures found stiff resistance at the levels of 92 on August 10 and continued to slide downward after finding a breakdown well below the 200 days moving average on October 11. Since then, the crude oil futures found sharp sell-off and continued to move downward and tested a low at the levels of 81 on October 18, but some bounce back was seen on October 19, but finally found stiff resistance at the low end of Ichimoku cloud, which is currently at the levels of 86.63, and from here a sharp sell-off was seen in crude oil prices when the crude oil futures found a sharp sell-off on October 20th. This resulted in the formation of this exhaustive candle, which got confirmation with the sell-off on October 21st. So friends, here no doubt we have seen some buying from the lows of the 82, but undoubtedly if the crude oil prices find a gap down opening well below the levels of the 80 during the upcoming week, we'll see this downward trend to continue where the immediate support can be seen at the levels of the 78, and the next support will be at the levels of 73, and here I find that a downward move well up to the lower end of this sliding zone, which is currently at the levels of 72. From here a sharp bouncing move can be expected as we have seen here. So friends, here you can see that how whenever the crude oil prices tested the lower end of this sliding zone, we have seen a sharp bouncing move here as we have seen here on September 27, from where the crude oil futures witnessed a rally from the levels of 75.73 and tested a high at the levels of 92. Once again, exhaustion is there, but here I find that the futures defend this immediate support during the upcoming week at the levels of 81.56. Then only we could expect a flip in upward direction where the immediate resistance will be at the lower end of Ichimoku cloud and the next resistance will be at the 200 days moving average. So friends, here I find that if the crude oil futures found a breakout well above the levels of 85 and sustain inside the Ichimoku cloud, we could expect an upward move up to the 200 days moving average, which is currently at the levels of 90. But here I find that if the natural futures are not able to sustain well above the 200 days moving average in a daily time frame, undoubtedly we could find a sharp sell-off to start where the crude oil bears will go short from here with a stop loss at the lows of $93. So any upward move above the 200 days moving average up to the lows of $92.56 will provide a good opportunity to go short in crude oil with a stop loss at the lows of $93.64, because here a find that a stiff resistance can be seen for the crude oil futures. From here a sharp sell-off can be seen that could drag down the crude oil prices well below the lows of 81. And on the low side, I find that if the crude oil futures start the upcoming week with a gap down opening well below the lows of 81, a selling spree could continue that could push the crude oil prices well up to the lows of 72 once again, from where we could find some reversal back up to the lows of 76, and here only a sustained move well above this level could push the crude oil prices well above this level. So friends, here I find that if the crude oil futures found a bounce back from these lows during the upcoming week, we'll have to see that whether the crude oil futures were able to sustain well above the levels of the 78 or not. Otherwise, this level could continue to provide stiff resistance. So friends, here I find that the overall trend could remain extremely bearish for the crude oil prices. So thank you friends, thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your more and more friends. Thank you.